Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is less than 2 months away from releasing in cinemas, so now it's time to talk about the film that released 42 years ago that started it all. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a cinematastic day. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema, and before I give my take on it, I'd love to hear yours down in comments below. Let me know what you think of Star Wars and just the Star Wars franchise in general. And I'll be getting back to those comments, responding to them. But be sure to be respectful of others' opinions because we're all going to have different takes on it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Star Wars: A New Hope presents the story of the Empire that is in control of the galaxy. Meanwhile, we get the story of Luke Skywalker, who is Tatooine bound and just wants to go out and explore the galaxy. And suddenly, that all changes when two mysterious droids, C-3PO and R2-D2, come to the Tatooine and have a message of an old hermit for Obi-Wan Kenobi that needs help from the Princess Leia. And this all ravels on to a whole new adventure with Han Solo and all of the group that comes together to save the galaxy. Starting with the positives, the cast in this film is brilliant and all the characters within. We get Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, we get Kenny Baker as R2-D2, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, and Harrison Ford as Han Solo, Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and all of them just performed their roles really well. And the way Darth Vader as the villain walks is just really believable. The way he speaks is really done well. And just all those characters interwoven don't necessarily seem like they should work. And also with Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca, I almost forgot. They just work really well, and it's an obscure group of characters. But because the believability of them not suddenly just getting together right away and being able to work together, there's just believable conflict within the mix of how the group comes together, and the differences between them make each of them have their own story and have their own experiences that are intriguing to how the story flows out within the mix. While this film was produced in the 70s, the effects are all not that bad. The props and all the effects are just really done well and actually kind of believable even for an older film. And just the world building of the Star Wars universe is just done right. You don't get too much of it because it's a full galaxy ahead of us, but it's done in just enough the right amount of time, and it's a classic story of a farm boy that comes to save a princess along with the Chewbacca and Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi within the mix, and it's just done really well. It's a great sci-fi classic, and you get the story of how all that develops within that, and just the tension is really done well, and you get to understand all the characters and how all the story plays out, and that's just what makes this film really entertaining. Getting to see the variety of culture and variety of characters and people within the mix, and the variety of aliens, and how each of the props and each of the costumes and each of the makeup jobs are done, it's just really done well for its time, and really a great space story with a sci-fi twist on it. Besides just a simple but useful humor that's used within the mix, it's just done really well with the characters and all the actors that play their role, because the actors play themselves in a way that doesn't seem like they're trying to impersonate someone else. They're not trying to twist their voice or change their acting in any sort of way, because when you see all of these people in films later down the road, they're all playing themselves in that sort of way, and that therefore you're just seeing them as the character they are, and that's where people begin to recognize Mark Hamill as Luke later down the road, Carrie Fisher as Leia, and so on, because they just really are believable in the way they impersonate themselves within the story, and just the way it's all played out, directed by George Lucas, is done in just an excellent manner. And while there's a few tiny little nitpicks I would point out where it's not necessarily believable in the detention center where Luke's just suddenly killing everyone. You don't really see that between there beforehand because it kind of makes sense if he had past experiences killing sand people, but not necessarily killing the stormtrooper. And also in the trash compactor, when there's a different smell, they sort of show it and tell it, but I didn't really believe it with the way they reacted to it. They sort of dismissed it really quickly. It wasn't really presented in the right way. And those were just a couple of the tiny little nitpicks that I could pick out from it. And they weren't, I wasn't searching for nitpicks. It was just coming up as I watched it again. But while those were just small little moments throughout the film, overall they really don't affect the enjoyment and how much you can really appreciate the story at hand. And therefore, I have to rate it simply 9.3 out of 10. Those were just my takes on this film, and I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. Make sure to be respectful of others' opinions because we all have differences, but we all can come together to have a nice, respectful discussion as a community in unity. Now we'll be getting to the rest of the Star Wars films review leading up to Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of my review, along with our ranking after Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on this video. And feel free to check out some of these other videos on the right hand side of the screen because I'm sure there's something you miss and you might really like. And I'll be back for more movie reviews, rankings, and more.